People, come on up.
George,
You can introduce yourself.
George, want me your phone?
I say, how many more? I know we got one sitting here who wants to speak for the first time. We'll have her speak here in a little bit. We got another one that wants to speak.
Looks like a do jumping jacks. Why do it?
Oh, come on. You know you want to speak. All right, so we got about 5 more people. Then I will do my own speaking as well, because we know what the problem is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to say things that we need to do to fix the situation. So at this time, I don't know your last name, but we're going to have George McDermott. So everybody, welcome George McDermott.
Hello, everyone. Everyone who was brave enough to come out here this morning and get through this weather. We are all here for one reason. We're all here to protect the rights and liberties of the children of this nation. We can't rely on the building behind us or any of the buildings behind us to protect those rights and liberties of our children and our families. CPS system is not broken. It is destroyed. It's a corporate entity now that must be taken down and abolished and completely rebuilt. But like the 2 speakers who came before me, they are saying that the court system, yes, it is the court system of the United States of America that has let all of us down. Our founding fathers had never anticipated the advent of the American Bar Association, and they did not want us to become similar to the Crown's courts in England. They did not want an American Bar Association, which was formed in 1908, and ever since then that Bar Association has taken over every court, every judicial proceeding in the nation. The judges that we have, look at the chain of evidence and tell me if this does not reflect what a criminal monopoly is. The American Bar Association now represents all public defenders, all prosecutors, all attorney generals, all states' attorney generals, all of the people working for CPS, 60% of the FBI's ABA members, 75% of our House and Senate leaders are all ABA members. All of our courts are 99% ABA members. You're working with a criminal monopoly that it has no checks and balances whatsoever. They disrespect our Constitution. They disrespect our rule of law. I sat in on the hearings for Gorsuch for 2 days here in Washington, D.C. just recently, and I petitioned every member of the Senate Judiciary Committee for one of them to ask 4 basic questions. I gave it to him on Friday before the hearing, and I asked if just one of these people would be brave enough to ask 4 questions. The first question is, does an unsigned order that is issued by any court in the United States have any force and effect because the clerks of the court and the judges will not produce an original signed order? They will not produce the oath of office of a judge, and they will not produce the jurats of the judge, so you can verify these orders against the rubber stamp that you receive in the U.S. mail, which are being mailed out tens of thousands of times a day from courts across the United States. In each case, it's mail fraud 101. I have a case in the U.S. Court of Federal Claims right now. It's case number 17 CV 09, U.S. Court of Federal Claims. And in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Court of Federal Claims, it's case number 17-1779, where I had to go to court and actually sue the United States government, the United States Department of Justice in the state of Maryland, because I have 300 unsigned orders in the record of the Supreme Court of the United States, case 10-10236. Every one of us are suffering in one form or another of judicial tyranny and waste, fraud, and abuse in our judicial system. My signs out here ask why the FBI will not investigate this. They don't care. The FBI and the Justice Department are private corporations of the larger corporation, the Corporation of the United States of America, Incorporated, which this is the capital of right here. And D.C. is designated as the city of New Columbia under the Constitution when they abolished our original Constitution. They don't want our citizens to know that they abolished our original Constitution for Lincoln to allegedly pay off the debts of the United States from the Civil War. Everything that we're talking about here is the denial of access from the Capitol, the House, the Senate on this side, and the judicial system. They're all controlled to actually commit economic terrorism on our citizens who pay their debts, who pay their paychecks, and support their illegal actions. I have no problem backing up anything that I say. I have 1,100 programs at secretjustice.com. I have many, many victims who I wish Laura Obama was here today. That poor girl has spent over $600,000 trying to get her 12-year-old son back from an abusive, drunken father, because the father knows the judges in the county, Howard County, Maryland. No problem. They ignore all the evidence. I wish I could have Michelle Bordelais here. She spent $300,000 so far in St. Mary's County, Maryland, trying to get her daughters back. The judges ignore this. I wish I had Jean Michaud here. They stole $10 million worth of her property with forged documents. This is all I wish I had Janice Wood Grenadier. We've got a case in the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, 114 videos showing that in 114 times that I've been with her to courts, that I presented the documents and a motion to intervene to let the court know that a fraud was taking place. The judges now, everything they do is in secret. We have to stop the secrecy in the United States. We have to join together, like he said, in groups of 1, 5, 10, build a small network in your local area, get some people together and do these demonstrations all the time. The more we do, the more we expose, the more we're going to protect our society. If we do not all take action immediately and start going to friends and into courtrooms and being witnesses for others, we are going to lose our rights. I just heard yesterday that there's a movement on now to abolish the civil trials in the in the United States. Well, they've already abolished them. Only 2% of the people who ever ask for a criminal trial ever get one, and 98% of those are criminals because they can't deny a criminal, once you're charged, a jury trial. But they're working around that right now, especially in the state of Maryland. And if you're a woman, you're in real bad trouble, because what they do is if you become boisterous and you demand a jury trial, and they've arrested you for some trumped up charge, and you tell your public defender you want a jury trial, the public defender then runs into the judge's chambers, says, look, I demand that this person have a psychological evaluation. Sylvia Horace out of Elkton, Maryland, won her child in a custody fight. 100% custody. 2 weeks later, it's Thanksgiving, she decided to take the child home to see her sister in Canada. Gave the court a document and said, listen, I'm taking my child out for a week. We're going home to see our daughter. As soon as she left the courthouse, the judge called up her husband. They filed a document. They waited till she crossed the Canadian border. Then they filed an international warrant against her. When she came back into the Canadian border, they arrested her. The judge listened and saw the paper she had, said, this is crap. 2 weeks later, let her go. Crosses into New York. Once again, judge looked at it, so you got all the documents, this is crap, you're out of it. Goes back to Harvard County, Maryland, walks into the courthouse to check the docket. They pull her into a side room, and the next thing you know, it took 3.5 years to get her out of the Perkins Mental Institution. They're threatening you, and they want you to be arrested, and then these judges and lawyers get together, and they will falsely, it's happening more and more every day. So whatever you do, whenever you go to court, try to take someone with you that will prevent this from happening to you. Because this is what they do. This is the pattern of what's happened to the denigration of our American Bar Association. Victims have no rights in this country. Only corporations, multinational corporations, the public corporations, which are your state, your local governments and counties and municipalities, and the government of the United States. They are the ones that we pay for the equal protection and equal rights under the law. They fail to provide honest services to our citizens. They knowingly give out false information. They falsify documents. The FBI is one of the biggest offenders. The Justice Department, one of the biggest offenders. They do not care about your children, your children's children, your neighbors. They only care about the people working within the community who are your public servants. But they'll protect them, but they won't protect you. So my name is George McDermott. I'm with SecretJustice.com and MarylandCourtWatch.com. I thank you for the opportunity of being here today, and pray for all those people who are less fortunate, and thank you all for being here and standing up for the rights and liberties of all of us. God bless and have a good day.
Thank you, George. We do have a first-time speaker getting ready to come up today, so come on up. I don't know your name off the top of my head. Porcello Ortiz. I hope I pronounced that right. All right, so please welcome our newest member.
Hello, everyone. This is the first time I've actually spoke publicly with the microphone in front of my face.